In the 1950s and the 1960s, British Railways had introduced a lot of new trains, particularly for local and regional services. But 30 years on, in the mid-1980s, these trains were wearing out and had to be replaced. But this wasn't a happy time for the railways. The government at the time, the Thatcher administration, didn't really want to spend money on British Rail. And so BR had to find cheap ways of replacing the local trains that it had introduced 3 decades before. The answer, or one answer, was the railbus and its derivatives, a brave experiment which saw bus bodies being mounted on what was essentially a freight wagon underframe. It worked in the sense that the train operated satisfactorily, but it has to be said that the ride wasn't very comfortable and the trains used to bounce up and down quite a lot, particularly on jointed track. This new form of train, this new technology, was probably responsible for saving some more likely used services from closure in the 1980s.
BR's new railbus design was based around the Leyland National Bus, introduced in the early 1970s. Mass-produced to a modular design at Leyland's factory in Workington, Cumbria, the Nationals featured power steering, a semi-automatic gearbox and turbocharged engine. The initial prototypes for the railway version of the Nationals, known as the Leyland Experimental Vehicle, were somewhat primitive in design. They were powered by a 6-cylinder diesel engine with fully automatic transmission driving one of the 2 axles, which were fitted directly to the chassis. This contributed to the vehicle's rough riding qualities at speed. From those first prototypes, the BR Class 141 units evolved, known as Pacers. Twenty of the 2-car sets were built for the West Yorkshire Passenger Transport Authority in 1984. Each set could seat 94 passengers and had a top speed of 75 miles per hour. To raise awareness of the Pacer trains in the West Yorkshire area, one of the units made a promotional visit to the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. For the day, the rail bus operated between the regular steam services on the line, hauled by preserved British Railways Standard Class 4, number 75078. While being extremely basic from a passenger comfort point of view, for West Yorkshire, now branded as Metro Train, the economies which the Pacers brought to train operation in the area enabled them to operate a greatly enhanced service. The increases in passenger traffic would eventually enable them to electrify some routes and purchase more expensive conventional trains,